Games here with another YouTube video. Guys, we got a big one today. It's gonna be probably a pretty lengthy one. I got some opinions to discuss. I got some I don't know. I got a lot of stuff to go over and discuss and let you know my feelings about the Diablo 4 patch that just dropped. My thoughts about the community in general, just going crazy over this patch, man. They're losing their mind. People are absolutely losing their goddamn minds about this patch. Like, I'm gonna uninstall. My guy doesn't do 50 million damage anymore. Like, calm the fuck down, guys. You ever played a game that tries to do class balancing? You ever played a game called World of Warcraft back in the day? They did this shit all the time, dude. The nerf bat was coming out left and right. Get used to it. If you want a fair balanced game, get used to it. Quit your bitching. Alright, now that my little tirade's done, let's get into it here. Balance updates. Let's see it. I've seen some of it already. I know some of it's not great. I know the sorcerer just dropped even further down in the tier list of power. You might as well not even think about rolling a source. And I love source. That's what I've been playing right now, level 91, 92. Blizzard source, that isn't even fucking viable anymore. Alright, sorry, I went off on a little another tirade about my source sucking. Alright, Barb. Violent double swing, vulnerable duration increased. Sounds like a good thing for Barbs. Fierce uphill bonus per stack increased from 3 to 5. Another bonus. Power charge cooldown reduction is now capped at 3 targets for a maximum of 9 seconds of cooldown reduction. That sounds like a nerf, but I don't know. Tactical ground stomp fury gain is increased from 25 to fury, or 25 to 40. Sounds good. Death blows damage bonus to bosses increased from 100 to 150. Sounds good. Alright, man. Okay, if I go over all these things. Anyways. Enhanced steel gas vulnerable duration increased from 2.5 to 3 seconds. Sounds good. Extra damage increased. Okay, so we got a lot of increased damage here. Sounds like some good things. Passives. So it's healthy means and slow amount increased from 10, 20, 30 to 20%. That sounds decent. Actually, that sounds really good. Slow amount increase. That'd be really good for PvP. Slow someone down 60%. Cut to the bone. Bleeding damage bonus to vulnerable. This is reduced. So this is going to hurt bleed builds for Barbs. That sucks. Paragon Wrath. Glyphs bonus. Now affects all damage instead of just core skills. Yeah, that sounds like a good thing. Aspects. I'm not going to spend time going over the aspect changes. The big changes I feel like are in the way like some of the multipliers and additives work. Items. Not going to go over that. Okay, Druid. Enhanced Claw attack speed bonus increased. Storm Strike damage reduction. Boulder damage increased. Savage Temple Spirit gain increased. Increased. Supreme move increased. Oh wait, hold on. Unstoppable 6 instead of while active. Okay, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Provocation threshold required for guaranteed overpower reduced from 35 to 39. Seems like a good thing. Ooh, that fucking sucks. Now also requires a lucky hit chance of 75%. That sucks. But the Druid was pretty good. Prickle Skin Thorns increased. Iron Feather maximum life increased. Bolster Fortify increased. Overload damage increased. Okay. Druid. Oh, not Druid. Necromancer has a bunch of increased vulnerable damage reduced. Enhanced blood routine increased. Enhanced blood and lance damage reduction. So it looks like Necro has a bunch of increased and decreased here. Trying to figure out Necro and balance him, it looks like. Okay. Wait, or was it Rogue? Is this Rogue? Yeah, Rogue. Advanced rapid fire duration increased from 3 to 5. Increased. So I feel like a lot of the class specific adjustments are mostly increases or things to make the skills better, and things like that. Whereas a lot of the general stats, let's see if I can find it here. Okay, is it right here? We're increasing the ability of the affix ability to make them easier to include in different builds. The core stat bonus was overpowering, so we're pulling back on this bonus. So now core stats are not going to be as desirable, which I don't really have a problem with because I didn't look for a lot of those anyways. I mean, obviously, depending on what I'm playing, but cooldown reduction. Cooldown reduction reduced by 30%. Imbuement skill cooldown reduction reduced. Wait, no, that's a. Oh wait, that's a good thing, right? Cooldown reduction reduced by 30%. I don't know. That reads weird. I don't know. The reduction reduced gets to me. Cooldown reduction reduced. Whatever. Moving on. Critical strike damage reduced by 70%. That's a sucky nerf. Lightning critical strike damage reduced. Critical strike damage with bone, earth, and beat worlds gets reduced by 70%. Vulnerable damage reduced by 40%. This one is a huge hit, but I know why they did it, guys. This is a big bitching thing for people right here, right? I mean, if you think about it, right, like the majority of builds required you to have a vulnerable damage of some sort. So people were stacking vulnerable crit damage, crit chance on a lot of builds. So there, if you were a source and you got things like increase frost damage by X amount, you would re-roll that to get a vulnerable damage or a crit chance. Because vulnerable damage was so important and such a powerful stat in the game, everybody pushed for that. So now, all these things that you're sitting there re-rolling are, shit, this item rolled super good on. All these other things on the item, all these other affixes rolled good, except for this. Well, now I gotta re-roll this to vulnerable damage, or it didn't get vulnerable damage and critical damage, so this weapon's trash. It's gonna open up so much more windows for items. So much more windows for items. Yeah, your character might be a little weaker. You might have to tweak your build a little bit here and there. But I think that's also why we looked at the class changes up top. I think that's also why they did that. They're making the skills of the class stronger, or hopefully stronger, or strong enough to compensate for the things they're reducing down here in the raw affect stats. So we'll see how it plays out. I'm going to play some probably tonight and tomorrow and check this stuff out a little bit. If it's live, I don't know if this update is live. We'll check it out though. I think it is because I got like a huge update. And excuse me, that was gross. So critical strike damage inherent on swords reduced. Vulnerable damage inherent on crossbows reduced. Okay, so really nerfing critical strike damage and vulnerable damage. Damage to crowd controlled enemies decreased by 30%. I don't know how I really feel about this. I do know there's a ton of builds that do use some sort of crowd control and a lot of items that can inflict slow or immobilize or chill or frost or like to freeze enemy. So I'm kind of mixing this one. I know why they did it because it isn't a lot of builds, and you can get some nice stacks with crowd control. But I don't know. I'm mixed on this one. I kind of wish they wouldn't have touched this. But we'll see. Damage to frozen enemies increased. I totally agree with that. I think that's 100% needs to happen because that'll help frost builds. I don't even, so I'm a blizzard source and I freeze guys and frost nova guys all the time. And I don't even shoot or think about getting the stat because I'm looking for vulnerable damage, critical strike damage, crit chance, things like that. Or raw stats like intellect. So this section here, I think like everybody gets so caught up in, oh my god, they're taking the vulnerable damage from me, and they're taking this damage from me. But look at all these other things they're increasing. Look at all this. Okay, physical damage increased by 25, fire 25, cold 25, lightning, poison, shadow, non-physical, physical, fire damage, shadow damage, damage with two-handed weapons. Look at all these damages they're increasing to try to outweigh the nerfs. And then down here, what they're doing with these is like, okay, total armor werebear, total armor werewolf. They're trying to get rid of the essentially invincible builds where you're never going to die. Damage reduction from close enemies reduced. I don't know how I feel about that. Or this. Because those are two things that really help your survivability later. We'll see how it plays out. Damage reduction from these that are bleeding. Burning, poisoned. Okay. So, I mean, you gotta look at, like, the other things that they're changing and quit just centering everything on, oh no, this is affecting my Necro Bone Spear build so much because I was stacking vulnerable damage, I was stacking critical damage, and I was hitting 8 mil, 10 mil, hits on things. And you got to realize that's not a balanced game when you got a sorcerer like myself who's getting like maybe 600 Ks. I think that's the highest one I saw. I'm a level 92 Blizzard and I'm getting 600 Ks, right? With very rarely even. They're trying to balance the game, guys. They're not just trying to be like, what can we do to piss the community off? No, they want a balanced game. They want it so someone like myself, who's playing a source right now, and like I've tried lightning, I've tried fire, and now I'm blizzard. Blizzard is the funnest build that I've had so far, and I didn't even really want to play Blizzard, but it is the funnest build, but it's probably also because I'm doing more damage. I actually feel like I can do some damage as a sorcerer. But okay, with these patch notes, right? So I'm talking about all the good things. So all the good things in the patch notes and the updates, like, they're good, right? But then you actually have the people that know how to bust out the spreadsheets and figure out all this stuff because they're smarter than me. You come to max roll and look at S tier. 3 rogue builds and a necro build. So did they really change anything? They just made shit worse. There's less viable S tier classes now. Come to A tier. Who do you have on top? Necro. And then rogue. Rogue. You got some druids and barb. Where's the source at? Where's the source at? No source in here. So we got to come all the way down to B tier to see source. Ice shards, and that even has an arrow. It's gotten worse. Blizzard source is B tier now, whereas before it was A. It's going down. Rindabarb is no more. Going down. All these builds are going down. Bloodlance Necro is shooting up. We'll see where it lands once there's some more testing. Barrage Rogue is going up, which is kind of cool because I played him a little bit. So then we get down here to C tier, right? Firewall source down. Arc Lash source. Ball Lightning. Bone Spirit. Meteor source is D tier. Chain Lightning source is D tier. Fireball is F tier, bro. That is terrible. F tier. So if I'm looking at this right now and I'm like, what am I going to play on season one? I'll tell you one thing I'm not playing on season one, and that's a sorcerer. I'll tell you another class I'm probably not going to play on season one, and that's a barb. Why? Because the only classes are whirlwind, which I don't really care to play because I played a lot of that in Diablo 2, and Hodabarb, which I don't really care to play. I would want to play Rindbarb. Or some other build, like maybe a Thorns Barb. So, season one, Druid, Pulverized Druid would be pretty fun. I have a Pulverized Druid that is very fun. There's going to be a ton of rogues. Death Trap Rogue, Barrage Rogue, Twisting Blaze Rogue, and you got Bone Spear Rogue. I still, for the life of me, don't know how they haven't balanced the Bone Spear Necro yet. That it's still S tier. Well, guys, this video is getting a little long here. There's a lot of things I went over, a lot of opinions I shared about people's thought process and where I think this patch really lands. It is kind of disappointing because you do see a lot of good things in the patch that you want to work theoretically with what they're doing, but then you come down to like a website like Maxroll, and you get in with the people that have been sitting here crunching numbers and testing builds out, and it's just not there. It's I don't know how to say it. I think they're in the right direction of balance, but they still fell a little short. They're in the right direction, but a little short. But guys, tell me what you think about the patch notes. Tell me what class you're thinking about rolling. Let me know what you think about my opinions. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content, and I will catch you on the next one. I'll catch you on the next one. Much love and have a good night or day wherever you are at in the world. See you later.